over and over and over without snapping like dry rubber bands.
Just listen to this clip from Pacioretty himself on his role from last night, which he's a really good talker, and I found this clip
Smart guy.
very interesting. So Pacioretty clip 1, please, on his role.
I got to make sure that I balance everything in terms of being hard to play against and playing straight lines, and I can't get away from that no matter what the outcome is. So started to feel that fade a little bit, but in the third got back to that, and I think that's definitely where I'm helping out the line and the team the most. But I definitely, there are areas where I can maybe get lost a little bit and try and get a shot off.
It's interesting because if you're Pacioretty, like, he knows how he can play offensively. He knows he can still shoot it. Like, it takes some real humility to just become this hitter guy. But I'm sure in his mind, he's like, are we sure I'm worse than Tavares? You guys give me his opportunities and see if my stats are much different.
Like those two guys together.
Yeah, me too.
And with Willie, with them, it really feels like a good mix.
Well, those two guys are similar for me. Whereas once you get them in that area of 6 to 8 feet on a radius around the net, they're good. And
good below the dots too. They can win battles on the boards and stuff.
Strong sticks and compete for loose pucks.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is if you're not around that 6 foot radius or in their certain wheelhouse, they can kind of get lost too.
They both have great beard density.
Oh, they do.
Which is really impressive.
They both would have full beards when they shave in the morning.
Yeah.
But
no, I totally see what you mean. Willie is a nice change of pace on that line.
Yeah.
And ends
I
up
thought
with
Willie was good last night.
breakaways galore. I don't know how many shots he ended with, but he had 5, 6, 7, 8 at least.
Wow. I mean, that's when Willie's
when he's going, right?
The cheatingness.
Yeah.
Right?
He had the cheat dial revved up.
Quickly, before we go to break, I got a little 50-50 read for you here, boys. It's a Sportsnet 590 fans 50-50 fortune supporting Food for Kids. And we are now in the home stretch. So make sure you've entered for your chance to win while making a huge difference. Here's what you need to know. We've created a 50-50 lottery where the more money we raise, the more kids we can feed in the GTA, and the more you can win. The current take-home prize is, care to guess?
$600,000.
It is over $720,000.
Wow.
Someone is going to win that huge jackpot this coming Thursday morning. Let's get that number as high as possible. For more details, to buy tickets, go to foodforkids5050.ca or text the word cash to 590-590, and we'll send the link right to your phone. It's the 50-50 fortune supporting Food for Kids. Standard message and data rates apply. Ontario only.
Kip, if you won 700, would you notice? Like, if I just put 700 in your various accounts, would you notice, do you think, if you check your statement?
Yeah. I would. That's a lot of golf.
Immediately, I'm like,
you,
what course am I joining?
A few green fees at Rosedale.
That would cover a couple.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we return, more on the Toronto Maple Leafs, including who's getting healthy. More of Real Kipper and Bourne after the break. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. You getting much of a response over your jinxing?
Yes.
Anthony Stolarz?
Yeah. Friend of the show, Josiah Bosch, just sent me a screenshot of me with my hand in my hands.
Yeah.
And below it on the screen, on the ticker, is the Anthony Stolarz news. So pretty perfect. Anyways, game time. It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. So the Leafs have a couple games this weekend that you'd think that they should probably get a couple wins, but we'll focus on tomorrow night in Detroit, which your boy will be in person for.
You've really hit the I in Detroit.
Detroit? Yeah, I can't say it.
Like a Canadian.
I also
Detroit.
So I will be.
And Elliot does that too.
It's the I, yeah.
He hits the I.
It's very Canadian, I think.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are minus 180 road favorites in that game. Looks like it's going to be Husso tomorrow. Yeah. The Red Wings just came off a brutal loss to the Philadelphia Flyers. And I saw someone say that they're off for 4 days after that game. If they lose in bad fashion to them,
don't you always recall like a ton of goals?
Yes.
Just always a ton of goals.
Marner scored. They won 10-7 there once. Marner scored. Didn't he have like 6 points? Didn't he score 4?
There's always. And then Buffalo, there's always a ton of goals too.
And the
Patrick Kane, 3 goals in 24 games for Detroit.
And this game time is just another opportunity for me to brag. And then on Sunday night, I will be at Ford Field to watch the Buffalo Bills take on the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions in that game are minus 140 favorites over the Buffalo Bills. They are 2.5-point favorites on the spread. And that was Game Time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app to find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
So where did you get your Bills tickets?
I don't know. My buddy bought them.
How much?
I have no idea. A lot. Like, I mean.
Your buddy buys them.
Yeah, so like there's
and
like
you can't at any point go, how much am I paying for this?
To his credit.
Are you that rich?
To his credit, my good buddy Keegan, he gave us all a total for hotel tickets to the Leafs game, tickets to the Buffalo game. And he said, here you go. This is the total. And we all paid it and away we go.
What a great group.
Well, share with the class.
No.
What's your total?
But my mom listens to the show. I'm not telling you that. Are you nuts? She'll kill me.
That's such a good answer.
Are
I don't
you
need
nuts?
to answer for this multiple
I'm
times.
going home for
I already had to answer to Allie.
I'm going home for Christmas for 3 days. And she'd be like, you spent how much? I'm like, no, I'm not telling you. Not telling you.
How much did you spend on her present?
On my mom?
Yeah.
What percentage of what you're spending on
Hey.
this trip did you spend on her present for Christmas?
Anyways, so got some tweets here, boys.
Asking.
Did you spend a Gino on the Bills?
South. South of that. South of that.
Okay.
Not by much, but south.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Good question.
It was Canadian. Okay. Last one. I'll tell you in the break. So you want to do some tweets? I don't even know if you saw me do this today, Kipper, but I sent out a little mailbag question for our Leaf fans to do in our Leaf Hour because I know you love that. So my first one here is from at Max Domi Enjoyer. I don't know if that's Kipper's burner, maybe. Which prospects picks should we be willing to trade away for a solid 3C along the lines of a Brock Nelson type guy? Assuming the investment upside of creating a better line for Domi to excel on if he's not getting top 6 minutes, feels like we might have to give up a lot for that.
Well, I would believe that if you're Lou Lamoriello and you want to give up Brock Nelson, who's still very good, and he's a good goal scorer, and I see him as a legit top 6 guy. I don't see him as but you would have that flexibility to move him out or in with maybe a John Tavares. On some nights you want to move him to the wing, but he's that good. But to me, the only names you'd be asking for you're not looking for a goalie right now, are you? If you're the Islanders,
Sorokin's pretty damn solid. Varlamov's very good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a great point.
right?
Yeah,
So I'm not going there. The home run for me, I'm not getting Cowan. I believe I can ask for him. I would ask for Cowan and settle for Minton on Brock Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the only answer. There's no other answer. Like, what are they going to take? Dewar and Steves? Like, who? Aktiamov, you just said they got goalies. Like, we got Books later. Let's ask him about Cowan. I don't know where he's at. Like, I have such a good concept where Minton is at.
Got absolutely rocked in a game against Oshawa.
But he was fine.
Yeah, but he's at the camp.
Yeah.
But he's skating alone at the camp,
Yeah.
and he's like in a non-contact jersey. He got rocked.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
At the camp.
Like the
World Juniors.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
But outside of that, there's really, to JB's point, is, come on, you can't window dress me.
Topi and Roney.
yeah,
You can't go. There's not too many places you'd want to go. I'm giving you a guy to help you win the Stanley Cup.
Brock Nelson's goal totals the past 3 years are 37, 36, 34. He's already got 10 this
Really?
year. So,
Like, hey, those are that's
and they're
that's
crease
not
goals.
third line stuff.
No. And they're crease goals. He stands in the paint and he's big and strong. Like
He can play center, the wing.
he plays every game, which helps.
and what's the Leafs pick situation? I don't know how to look that up anymore. Cap wages.
Yeah. The Leafs pick situation is they have
It's not bad. It's not.
No, those
awful.
they're one in the second, one in the third,
Yeah.
5th, 6th, 7th.
And then their first for 26 and 27 they have.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre LeBrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to LeBrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. LeBrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Austin Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs' management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs' management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Marner's future, along with the team's ability to stay competitive under financial constraints, will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. Supporters can only hope that the team's new approach leads to greater playoff success and, ultimately, the elusive championship. In the end, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the Maple Leafs' identity for years to come. Whether it results in retaining Marner or reshaping the roster, the team's commitment to an internal salary cap signals a clear focus on long-term sustainability. Fans will be watching closely, hoping for a resolution that keeps the team's core intact and their championship dreams alive. As the negotiations with Mitch Marner progress, another layer of complexity is added by the external competition in the NHL market. Teams with more cap space and fewer restrictions could easily present lucrative offers to Marner if he reaches free agency. The Leafs are not only negotiating with Marner but also indirectly competing with other franchises willing to outbid them for his services. One example of this is Mikko Rantanen, whose potential $14 million value on the open market highlights the growing demand for elite wingers. If Rantanen secures such a deal, it could set a precedent that Marner's camp would use as leverage. The Leafs, however, must remain disciplined, as breaking their internal salary cap for Marner could lead to similar demands from other key players down the line. The looming specter of free agency means the Leafs have a limited window to strike a deal. If negotiations drag on into the off-season, the leverage shifts heavily in favor of Marner and his agent. Darren Ferris, known for his strategic patience, could use this to push for maximum value, putting even greater pressure on the Leafs management to make a decision. This scenario also places significant pressure on head coach Sheldon Keefe. Managing a team amid ongoing contract uncertainty can disrupt chemistry and focus. Keefe will need to ensure that the team remains united and focused on their performance, even as the media and fans speculate about Marner's future. Meanwhile, the Leafs core group, including Austin Matthews, Morgan Rielly, and John Tavares, will likely play a role in influencing Marner's decision. The camaraderie among the players and their collective drive for a championship could persuade Marner to accept a deal that aligns with the team's financial structure. On the flip side, the Leafs could explore contingency plans if a deal with Marner doesn't materialize. Trading Marner would be a bold move, but it could bring significant assets in return, potentially bolstering the team in areas like defense or secondary scoring. This option, while unpopular with fans, might be necessary to maintain roster balance. The timing of these decisions is also critical. With the trade deadline months away, the Leafs must assess whether keeping Marner without an extension risks losing him for nothing in free agency. A preemptive trade could avoid this scenario, but it would also signal a significant shift in the team's short-term goals. Fan sentiment will undoubtedly influence the team's approach. Marner is not just an exceptional player, he's a fan favorite and a symbol of homegrown talent succeeding in Toronto. Losing him could lead to backlash, especially if the team struggles in the aftermath of his departure. The broader NHL landscape also plays a role. As other teams navigate their own salary cap challenges, the Leafs can learn from their successes and failures. Organizations like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Vegas Golden Knights have shown the value of balancing star power with depth, offering a potential blueprint for Toronto's future.